prepare to celebrate the centenary of the Australian Open, we are moving into new territory. A new venue in the heart of Victoria's holiday playground, and a new look as we welcome another fine golf course into the exclusive roster of Open venues. This is Moona Links, in the heart of the Mornington Peninsula. While many are drawn to the sandy beaches, blue water and the myriad of recreational opportunities, it would be the ancient dunes, sandy soil and ideal drainage that caught the eye of one of Australia's master golfers. This year, the Australian Open turns 99. Not for the first time the Stonehaven Cup will travel to Victoria, but this time, those who hope to claim the historic silverware must travel outside suburban Melbourne. They must drive an hour or so through the sprawl of homemakers, through rolling hills that now bear vineyards of international repute. They come in search of glory, like so many before them. Like the South African youngster Gary Player and the chubby American Jack Nicklaus, who won the Open 13 times between them. There have been other international raiders, like Arnold Palmer, Bill Rogers, Tom Watson and Brad Faxon. Men who have hoped to emulate the feats of the Squire, Gene Saracen, who dropped into Melbourne some 70 years ago. The Australian Open has always been about quality. The winning list is studded with our finest. From five-time winner Ivo Witten, Jim Ferrier, Ozzie Pickworth and the Von in days long gone. Through to the likes of Greg Norman, who has also won 5 times. Aaron Baddeley, who surprised us all by winning as an amateur, then backing up a year later. Robert Allenby, Stuart Appleby, and our title holder Stephen Allen. For half a century, however, we looked and listened to one man. He won the first of his 3 Australian Open titles at Metropolitan in 1951, and now has put his imprimatur on this magnificent Open layout here at Moona Links. This is Peter Thompson's offering to Australian golf, a true headquarters of our Open Championship, a links layout that encapsulates the topography of this unique stretch of coastal land, open to the elements, a true test of golf. He will watch as the finest golfers are put to the test. One will reign supreme. One will take home the Stonehaven Cup. Here at Moona Links, proudly hosting the 2003 Australian Open, presented by Hillross Financial.
Yes, this is it, the new home of the Australian Open. This is the Mornington Peninsula, and this is Moona Links. This fabulous Peter Thompson designed layout, hosting the Australian Open, the national title, for the very first time. And what a marvellous week it has been so far. Hello everyone, and welcome to Seven's exclusive coverage of what should be a memorable day's golf, the final round of our national title. Already 3 absorbing days behind us. Today is payday.
Right now, it's showtime.
For the first time, the Australian Open is being played at Moona Links on Victoria's Mornington Peninsula, and day 1 got off to a very wet start. The Peter Thompson designed course was thought to be possibly the toughest in Open history, claiming its fair share of victims early.
Don't move, Peter. Oh dear.
It's a great challenge. It's a great golf course, and you know, if you're not quite on your game, you can come undone.
Peter Lonard seemed to have the answers, just 1 shot behind leader Chris Downs at day's end.
And hello. Just a little chip in for an eagle 3.
Big names such as Ogilvy, Laycock and Pampling failed to make the cut on day 2, as did a lesser name, 15-year-old American Philip Francis, one to watch in the future.
It was awesome just being able to do this, at the age of 15. It's pretty cool. Not very many, kids are able to do that, so I'm going to really cherish that, for the rest of my life, probably remember it.
Another American, Ricky Barnes, had more success, in second going into the weekend.
And gets it. Ricky Barnes, what a round.
But again, it was Chris Downs making the field and the Channel 7 crew very nervous, finishing 7 under.
I was just going right of that fairway trap, and
How are you, Jason?
he was a touch close.
A touch. You just got a haircut.
Not much to cut, Brett.
I know.
Day 3 saw Masters champion Robert Allenby make an early move.
Has he hit it? Yes!
As long as they don't go any further than 10 under, then I've definitely got a chance. I know how good I can play tomorrow, and especially on the last day. I'm quite capable of shooting 7 under.
Allenby may need a few Terry Price-like moments to get up.
Just watch the ball of Terry Price. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Yeah, Mark, I guess it was a highlight and a pretty sad day, really. Yeah, it's good to knock one in. Yeah, I hit a 6-iron and flag was in the back right corner, so cut one in there and it landed soft and did the business for me.
What's supposed to do that? Don't do it again.
Peter, did you design the course for that?
I've just castigated him for that. That's uncalled for.
You were telling us how difficult this course was going to be.
Yeah,
not getting in with one shot.
They're making me look a fool.
Two-time winner Aaron Badley is 3 over the card. His pants way over the top.
Jack, did you slip into a pair like that back in the 70s?
Not until after his round.
Absolutely. Just to buy the curtain material in Singapore and get it made up.
The explosive Ricky Barnes is still in the mix, but the American found the locals a touch friendly.
Oh man, as you can see right now, I'm fighting them off with everything I got. So that's the only thing I'd change about this tournament.
No flies on Stephen Leaney, the West Australian moving to 7 under and outright second.
I'm mindful of the fact that I haven't won in Australia for, I think, 5 years now, and this is a very big tournament to win, and I've put myself in there with a chance, and hopefully I can just keep doing what I've been doing.
But they're all still chasing Queenslander Chris Downs, a one-stroke leader.
I'm only 23, so I mean, there's guys out here that have done it week in, week out. But I mean, if I wasn't nervous, I wouldn't be human. So it's good to be nervous, but it's just a matter of controlling those nerves and just hitting a few good shots early and then ease into it. I came down here this week pretty confident, and I've only won once before, and obviously nothing of this note. But to win the national title, I mean, everyone in Australia would want to win that, so it'd be great.
It's your home open, it's the national open. You were the best player in the country that particular year.
Right now, it's showtime.
Mark Howard looking back on the last 3 days, and this is what we're left with. 4 shots separating the top 16 players, 5 shots separating the top 21 players. Chris Downs is the man they've got to catch, and closest to him is Stephen Leaney, just 1 stroke separating the Queenslander from the West Australian. A number of players all at 6 under par. Craig Jones, Matthew Miller, Peter Lonard, to name a few. Stephen Allen, the defending champion, and what a marvellous defence he's putting up. Stuart Appleby, a former winner. He knows what it takes. Jared Mosley is leading that group at 5 under par, which includes the local boy, Martin Doyle. His knowledge may prove worthless today. Robert Allenby is at 4 under par, another former champion. And Peter Fowler, could he turn back the clock some 20 years? We shall wait and see as the day unfolds. Joining me is the 1979 Australian Open champion. You know what this day is like, Jack. A memorable day for all players, but it's going to be extra special for one at the end of the day.
Yeah, look, I'm pumped because the last round of an Open is always exciting, and I think we've got a terrific mix of experience, and with Chris Downs' youth up at the top of the leaderboard. I'd love to see Chris Downs win it. But I suspect that Leaney, with his experience at the US Open this year, I think that'll hold him in good stead today. And then, of course, I picked Lonard early in the week. He'll need to putt well today, I think. And, of course, Appleby's lurking. So it makes for a very interesting afternoon.
Now, what about this course? You, like the players, have had a week to examine it, to look at it, to dissect it. What are your thoughts?
Look, the first thing to recognise is this is probably one of the nicest pieces of land you'll ever get to build a golf course on, but Peter Thompson and his team have done a great job. 6,800 metres, it's an extremely long golf course, but I think we've seen already this week, length doesn't really bother these guys. It's if you give them the soft greens, they'll shoot the low numbers, but we're expecting a bit of wind this afternoon, so maybe that'll just make things interesting like they should be. A stiff examination for our Open winner.
As it should be as well. But, Jack, we've been talking about the wind all week and nothing has eventuated. Maybe this afternoon a nor'easterly that is expected to change late in the day. The amended temperature is now 25. It was predicted earlier to be a little warmer. So currently 23. We are almost there. Well, not only is a new name, Jack, going to go on the Stonehaven Cup, but this tournament brings to a close the battle for our Order of Merit.
Yeah, it's quite significant, Sandy, because you've got to remember that the winner of our money list will actually get straight into tournaments like the US Open, US PGA and other big invitational events. The top two get an automatic start in the British Open. So there's some fairly significant results come out of this last round today, and whoever does best, and we can see there that it's quite close. Andre Stoll's not here. Paul Casey hasn't played enough events, so it's probably going to get down to Mrs. Senior, Lonard. Allenby, I think, hasn't played enough tournaments.
No, and neither has Stephen Leaney, which is very interesting because both of those players are in with a great chance. And we shouldn't forget our leader, Chris Downs, because he is currently in 15th place. If he is successful today and he wins, that will catapult him to the top of the Order of Merit.
Yeah, well, I mean, 270,000 first prize up for grabs here, so theoretically he could win. You would expect that Lonard in particular and perhaps Parry will have something to say about that today, but it wouldn't be inconceivable for him to win the money list. No.
All right, let's get out onto the course, Jack. We've talked about it a lot over the week. It starts obviously on the front nine with a couple of key holes, and this is what we're going to look at now. Firstly, the par 5 second.
Yeah, 517 metres, and with this north-easterly breeze blowing today, helping here. So the player's trying to put their tee shot between the left-hand bunker and this tongue of rough, and then it's eminently reachable with a mid to long iron. So you're looking to get away to a quick start with this par 5 second, another one coming at 4. Pin today back right. So early on could really determine what's happened here today.
Yeah, it's an interesting start, isn't it? 2 par 5 so close.
Yeah, well, this hole, again, a lot dependent upon the wind. With the wind in the right direction, the players will just blow it over these 2 bunkers on the left. And then it requires a really excellent second shot to get it on the green here. And quite a slopey green with this sole bunker on the left, which today very much in play with this pin at back left of the green.
Now, this is the Terry Price hole, the 5th, the first of the par 3s.
One of the highest points on the golf course, and dependent upon which direction the wind is blowing, you're going to get a crosswind either from left to right or right to left, and the pin front right. That's a devilish pin today.
The 7th is also a par 3, then we go to 8.
Yeah, look, again, dependent upon the breeze direction, you either have to thread the needle or take it over this left-hand bunker, and then your second shot to an elevated green, big swale in the front of it, quite a bit of slope on the green as well. And the pin today way over on the left-hand side of the green.
And Jack, if you're going to set yourself up for a win, is it the front nine? Is that where you do it?
Yeah, look, I think we've spoken about the back nine. Statistically, it's been the most difficult all week. I think 4 of the most difficult holes on the golf course come in the last 7 holes. So it's really a case of get out of the boxes quickly and then do your best on the back nine.
The only bloke who would disagree with that is one Stephen Allen, who birdied 5 of the last 7 holes. But speaking of the front nine, Jack, I've got an idea. That's where we're going to find the intrepid adventurer, one Pat Welsh.
Where is he today?
Sandy, we're swooping along yet another of the great holes here at this Moona Links layout. It's the 8th, the 428-metre par 4. Now, I can let you into a little secret here. This is quite a signature hole because before construction of this golf course, the 8th was full of grapes. They have since been removed and turned into the 8th hole Pinot Noir, which has been freely sold at the clubhouse right throughout this Australian Open. The other little distinguishing feature is this hut behind me. It's the vigneron's hut. He used to tend to the grapes. And I can let you into a little secret. I was following Robert Allenby's group on Thursday, his first look at the course. A comfort stop was called for. He decided to sneak in behind the hut and emerged at pace with a startled look on his face because he saw a large brown snake resting very comfortably in there. I can tell you, Sandy, this is as close as I'm going to get to this hut.
And speaking of startled looks, when our producer Graham Rowland said, "That's where you're going, Pat," he aged 10 years. But well done, Pat, and let's hope the Snakes stay out of trouble today. Pat, incidentally, is going to be following Stephen Leaney in his quest to win his first Australian Open and his first title in Australia for some 5 years. What about our other commentators? Let's hear from them now. Wayne Riley and Jason Dunstall.
Sandy, this afternoon I'll be following Peter Lonard. No stranger to major Australian titles. He would love to add the Australian Open to his list. And don't forget, Ricky Barnes is playing in the group in front now. If he gets it going, that's where the action could be.
Conran and Appleby's my group today. No wind to speak of here at Moona. It's going to be a wonderful day's golf. I'm really looking forward to calling these guys shots.
Yes, but it may get up a little bit later on, Radar. Let's go to some action now because a number of key players already out on the course. One is Craig Parry. Here he is at this par 3 fifth, Jack.
Yeah, well, as I said just a moment ago, pin front right. Tough pin to get at, but Craig Parry, his stock shot goes from left to right, so that's the ideal shape of shot to attack this flag. And attack it he did. Hit the flagstick. That's twice in 2 days we've seen that happen.
Just hasn't had the putter working this week, though, has he?
No, he hasn't. Very disappointing yesterday. I thought he was right in the thick of things as Jared Moseley now playing his second shot to the first hole.
He's been in pretty good form in the last couple of weeks, and he's got an excellent chance there of moving considerably closer to one Chris Downs. Now, let's move to 5 and see if Craig can get that putter working today. This for a 2. A 2 at 5 for Craig Parry. And that's better. One of the masters of the short game. That gets him to 4 under. He's a couple under for the round, and who knows, if he could really set it alight, he could post a score. Jared Moseley, currently at 5 under. But the short stick not working for him. So a tap in for par should be the order of the day for Jared Moseley. As I said in our introduction, there are just 5 shots separating the top 21 players, and I think that's going to make for some electric viewing, Jack.
Well, it poses the question, could we have a playoff? With so many players in contention, Chris Downs, of course, leading and dealing, but it's a very difficult task to lead from barrier to box in such a big championship for someone as inexperienced as Chris, but I think he's got the talent to do it. It's just a matter of him getting away to a good start. I think it's going to be crucial.
You have been known at times to sit on the odd fence. Would you like to get off it and give us your prediction? What do you think?
Well, I fancied Lonard at the start of the week. I think he's going to have to putt better today if he's going to win. But Stephen Leaney, I suspect, is going to be the man to beat.
You're still on that fence. Stephen Leaney, well, who knows? It could be his turn finally here to have his name engraved on the Stonehaven Cup. We'll take a break and be back with all the action of this, the final round of the Australian Open, coming to you from Moona Links and presented by Hillross Financial.
Up, one of our finest players on the international stage, and also a member of the President's Cup team. He's won 2 Dutch Opens, is 7th on our order of merit, and will play on the US Tour next year with rounds of 71, 70 and 68 to be 7 under par from Western Australia, Stephen Leaney.
Not only a good result in the US Open, 2nd at the Johnny Walker Classic, 5th in the year-ending Volvo Masters. So it's been a successful season for Stephen Leaney, and he's going to concentrate on the US Tour next year.
And a member of Royal Perth, and I know there's a few members out here today watching him. 3 middle. Classic golf swing. Beautiful tempo.
Tied for 9th in the Australian Open last year, and that's perfectly away.
And our final player is the tournament leader, ladies and gentlemen. He's a former PNG Open and New South Wales PGA winner. He's had a top 20 finish on the US PGA Tour this season and is currently 15th on the order of merit, with rounds of 67, 70 and 71 to be 8 under par. From Queensland, Chris Downs.
A moment, Jack, for this 23-year-old who's currently 15th on the order of merit.
Yeah, he'll have a few nerves, a couple of big deep breaths and then trust his swing. But he did lead the New Zealand Open last year, so that'll be an experience he can draw from. Just in the right rough, not such a good lie to be playing a pitch shot over that bunker where Stuart Appleby is up ahead. Deep bunker. Pretty good from there. Down breeze.
Ahead to 2, Ricky Barnes. A birdie opportunity once again for the American. And this time he's got it. So he closes in. He gets it to 7 under.
Robert Allenby now at 5, 174 metres. Pin today 10 on, and just look at the putt that Robert Allenby's left himself with. Too much stick, I think, with that right to left breeze, and he also draws the ball.
Now Conran uphill left to right, this to save par. The first. So that'll be at best a drop shot for the man from Orange.
Now Jones. 69, 71 and 70 for Craig, and that's an excellent putt. And he now has a share of second. Number of players at 7 under par.
Stuart Appleby now, after dumping his second in the bunker, this to save par, just on or just outside the right lip. No. So not a great start for Mrs. Appleby and Conran, both dropping a stroke at the first.
Stuart Appleby back to 5 under, and all of a sudden now the gap is 3 strokes. Chris Downs and Stephen Leaney about to head out, and then the field will be away. But some excellent rounds happening here today. As we said, Craig Spence 7 under. Ewan Walters is 3 under for the day. So too Badley. And here we are with our leader, Chris Downs, his first hole of his final round getting underway.
Look out. That will go all the way back. Ooh.
Oh, stopped.
Lucky.
Tough shot, though, coming from that wispy rough. Not sure what it was going to do from there.
Look at this putt, Jack.
Yeah, don't go this far on your holidays, do you?
He is a very good putter, but by word, this will test even Robert Allenby.
Come back to his right at the end of its trip. Oh, that's an excellent lag putt from Robert Allenby.
Stephen Leaney now, his second to 1. Well, the start's all important here at Moona, and Leaney also could be very quick out of the blocks.
Yeah, uphill putt for 3. Much better from that side to putt from than above the hole. Well, that's a great 2 putt from there.
He remains a couple under for the day. 6 under, only trailing by 2.
from this man, Chris Downs.
Tough little shot. Little left to right. He'll pitch this about a metre on the green. Looks good for touch. Oh, wonderful. Great judgment from the young fella. And that's right underneath the hole too. Couldn't place it any better there to make a par at the first.
Moving ahead to 17, Craig Spence has done very little wrong today. He's got to try and save par here at 17. And he does. So is this a rejuvenated Craig Spence we're seeing as he comes to the last? He's heading towards a new course record. He's on target for a 65.
Go to the third. And Ricky Barnes, fresh off a birdie. Aggressive play. He's got a tough, tricky little downhill putt from there too. Hole playing back into the wind today.
Stephen Leaney, good opportunity for birdie at 1.
You won't get too many better opportunities to draw level with the leader than that.
They're playing with Ricky Barnes. Craig Jones, also fresh off a birdie. Well, like 2 peas in a pod.
Let's move to Peter Fowler, playing his third shot to the 4th. He's made a great start today as the 83 champ, getting it to 7 under.
Now back to the first, Chris Downs. This for par. Testy start for him, but he's passed the first test with flying colours.
Just looking at scores coming in, Jack, besides the obvious Craig Spence, a lot of players are having a real battle. Shane Tate is the only one in the clubhouse to have broken 70, shot a 69. But there are some, unfortunately, cricket score-like numbers being racked up.
Second hole, coming off a bogey, so he needs to right the ship pretty quickly.
Revenge
from
days
his
for Mooner
point
here
of
today. Good looking swing for Stewie. Very, very good shot. Sets him up for a birdie, get back on track.
Wonderful galleries out for this final round. And bear in mind, this course is a huge layout on over a couple of 100 acres, so galleries spread far and wide.
Yeah, very British Open-like. Stephen Leaney, tee shot at 2.
You consider this as over 250 acres, and where Stephen Leaney comes from, and I-Class Royal Perth is a pretty good track, it's on 78 acres for a championship track, so what a difference.
Let's go to Craig Jones. He's one of that group, but 7 under, but he needs this for par. And that's an excellent save.
Terrific to see Craig playing well again.
Yes, they'll all be sitting down there in Maroochydore, cheering him on.
Sunshine Coast.
Now leader, Downs at the second. He's just swinging the club beautifully. Chris Downs. 15 greens in regulation yesterday, 32 putts. But his ball striking, if it continues today, he'll be hard to catch.
Here's Peter Fowler, who's one player who's made a quick start. This for a share of the lead at 4. Missing his birdie, but should get a rock solid par and stay at 7 under.
Barnes at 3. Wobbles it in the left corner, but you don't draw pictures on your scorecard. So par birdie, par start for the American.
Now Peter Fowler. Cleaning up for his par at the par 5 fourth to remain 7 under. 20 years ago, the man wearing pink trousers won at Kingston Heath, and what a victory it was.
Pink, green. We've really seen all colours, haven't we, from our fashion plates who've been victorious. Who's it going to be today? Well, Aaron Baddeley, who's a fashion plate of sorts, shot a 69 today, so that's a good finish, and he finished even par. Played with David McKenzie, shot an even par round to finish 3 over. As we take a break.
Pilkington played precision golf to leave the field at the Lakes Golf Club in 1992. At the final hole, with the weather deteriorating rapidly, Peter McWhinney was just 1 stroke behind. McWhinney mishit a 2-iron and made bogey, and the title was Elkington's.
This is Robert Allenby, his second shot to the par 4 6th. Allenby at the moment at 6 under.
How strong that wind is at the players' backs there. Allenby misjudging it.
Now Lonard, second shot. Tough pin to get to, right up in the back left corner. Straight into the breeze.
Yep, 1-2-6 for Lonard, going with a little 7, just punching it in low, trying to get it all.
That's a good shot, right underneath the pin. And a good opportunity for Lonard to make 3 at the 3rd.
Long putt for Stuart Appleby. He's on the par 5 second. This eagle putt would catapult him to 7 under. Bring him to within 1 of Downs. Should get his birdie.
Fifth hole now, Peter Fowler. A couple under for the day. And I think he's such a good putter and short game that it must give him a chance now. And he's back in that section of green where Robert Allenby was a couple of groups ago.
Here's Steve Conran trying to get back the shot that he lost. So 269 is the best clubhouse scores at the moment from Shane Tate and Aaron Baddeley as we move ahead to Robert Allenby.
Tricky little shot for Allenby. He's got to come up a little tier about 4 metres short of the hole. Loft this up. Up over the tier now and feed to the hole. That's a wonderful shot. Good touch. We learn to play those shots in America.
Conran for par.
He's Steve Conran, a qualified accountant. So he hasn't got any trouble adding up his score.
Jack, let's move to 18. This would be some round for Craig Spence. This would be a round of 64.
Phenomenal round. I must say, though, the northerly breeze today makes the course play a bit easier than from the south.
Well, he'll get his par, and it's just great to see him back on track.
They're just the sort of rounds, Sandy, when you've been having a rough spin, can really turn things around for you.
Let's hope so. He's got his card for Europe next year. He and Nicole are going to be parents in February. So, as you said, Jack, things starting to turn around.
Well, just to think, Sandy, 2 weeks ago at the Masters, he shot 82 the final round. Today,
a new course record.
65.
Appleby now a birdie putt at 2. 2 great shots onto the green. First putt short. Well done. So rights the ship, so to speak, after a drop shot at the first, birdie at the second.
Now we'll go to Allenby, just inside right lip. This for par at the 6th. Well done. So good up and down from Allenby to remain at 6 under and just 2 back.
To the second, and our leader, Chris Downs, his second shot to the par 5.
cracking shot from the tournament leader. That putt for an eagle 3 just to skip him further in front.
On the third, Peter Lonard also looking at birdie territory. This to go 6 under. Just had to hit it. Hit it right on target.
Now Leaney, second shot. Driver 6-iron for Chris Downs. And wouldn't be much different for Leaney either. Bounce up. Come on. Oh, it's going to catch a ridge there and just trickle back a bit. So one more bounce would have been just as close as Downs.
I was going to start talking about playoff holes, Jack. I think Mr. Downs must have read my mind, but if we do happen to venture into that territory, it's 18, then 15, 16, 17, 18. Sudden death.
And Sandy, before we go to a break, I'd just like to wish Kel Nagle, a man I admire a lot. 83 today he is. Happy birthday, Kel.
Oh, here, here. One of the great names in world golf. First to play, Stephen Leaney. Didn't get the kind kick that Chris Downs did. And we'll have that for a birdie.
Now to the second par 3 on the front 9, the 7th. And Robert Allenby on the move today.
Get up. Get up.
Just caught, there's a ridge just shy on the front side there. He's just pitched it into that. That's why it stopped. Another metre or so would have kicked up to the flag.
Stuart Appleby here hung his tee shot out to the right here at 3. You can see the ball way above his feet. Blind, you can't see the green from there. So a lot going to depend on his lie here. And the wind fairly whistling from his right and into him. Really got to be careful you don't pull this left with the ball above your feet. Back in his stance a little bit. And hang on firmly with the last 3 fingers on the left hand.
You might even tie your shoelaces up tighter too, Jack.
Gone left.
Not enough or not? That hooked about 60 yards. I needed a 6-iron, Joe, so I could block it. But to try and stop the hook coming over so quick.
Let's move to our leader, Chris Downs, who has this putt to stretch his lead. This eagle putt. But he too misses. He will pick up a shot though. He'll go to 9 under. And it just gives him a bit of breathing space against the Barnes, the Jones, the Allenbys, the Fowlers.
Now Peter Fowler, par 3 5th. This for birdie. Outside chance really very tough putt. We saw Robert Allenby putt from the same direction a while ago. Needs to woo. Little tester coming back for Fowler.
Stephen Leaney. Second putt at a birdie. And gets it.
So Downs at 9 under. Leaney 8 under. Jones and Barnes 7 under. And Peter Fowler had a good run going, and that was to save par, so the first blemish for the 83 champ in his final round.
Ricky Barnes now. 4th shot at the 4th, and he's just got to take his medicine and try and put it out to the right. Could not go at that flagstick cut behind the bunker. So he's been in all sorts of trouble here at 4.
Wayne Riley, you're following Stuart Appleby. It looks as though he's heading back, is he?
Oh, mate, he's going back there to play this again. It was a very, very smelly lie he had there, and he just hoiked it left, and it ran under the fence. OB. Terrible start for Stewie. Not a happy camper out here right now.
So one of the favourites for this event in real trouble. Peter Fowler, here we are to drop only one, and that's what he does. But he's now sporting Downs 3 shots.
It just goes to show you, Sandy, 1 shot offline on this golf course can do that to you.
Craig Jones at the par 5 fourth over the green. Oh, that's a beauty. That was a great shot.
As we follow Stewie. Back to the same spot that he played that shot from.
Don't think you'd want to go too close to him at the moment.
Well, you get lucky here and that'll,
check that,
well, that should be in play. Can roll inside 2 club lengths. 1 and a bit, you heard him say he'll just check that it's hasn't gone outside 2 club lengths. Yep, so that ball will now be in play.
We'll go back to him in a moment. In the meantime, Jack, Ricky Barnes has been in trouble on 4.
Yeah, across the ridge here, really going to sling the ball left there and then go back the other way. So the par 5s he normally eats up. This big hitting American, he's going to take at least 6 here at the 4th.
Now, just for 2. For Allenby. It's got to go. It's got to go. Wouldn't be happy with that. It's the shake of the head.
Barnes, bogey putt. Drops only 1. Back to 6 under also with Fowler. And Appleby also, but he's in trouble. Take 2.
$119 for Stuart Appleby here. This is a better position than he was the first time. But a very difficult shot. The wind's howling out here now. This is a good looking shot. It's going to come up short though, just to the front of the green and roll back down. This will be a great 2-putt to get out of here with a 6, which is not the ideal start for Stewie, as we were saying.
No, Wayne.
Now Allenby for par.
So a few of the big names all of a sudden making things a little more comfortable for one Chris Downs. Stephen Leaney's hanging onto his coattails. Craig Spence is in the clubhouse with a new course record. Round of 65, by far the best round of the day. Aaron Badley shot a 69. Shane Tate a 69. A break and more shortly in the Australian Open.
Yeah, the problem for him is that he cannot see this flag at all. He's way down the hill. He's got 145 metres with a 7-iron punching in a breeze that's hitting it from the right. Look, that's a fantastic result from there because he looked at this shot for an absolute age. That's a great result.
Take your time, Craig. Take your time.
Well done. So Jones moves a step closer too. He joins Leaney at 8 under par. Now Primus Telecom Hot Shots have featured some beauties, and let's have a look at Craig Jones on the tee at 5 again, Jack.
Well, you've got to land this ball around the front of the green today, otherwise it's going to go to the back like we saw Allenby and company. Landing in the fringe, just deadening the shot, and then the breeze doing the rest. Oh, that's a great shot. Imperial, I'd even give that.
To Stephen Leaney. 8 under, playing 3.
It's caught the tears short of the flag and checked up. And Chris Downs with a much better putt at his birdie.
Now Peter Fowler. That is at the 6th hole, and that was for birdie. So he'll tap in a golden opportunity there for the Chook after a 3-putt on the par 3 fifth.
Here we are with Robert Allenby at 8, playing his second shot to this 8th hole. He's 5 under.
8 and 9, the 2 toughest holes on the course today. Back into this nor'easter.
Allenby can't win the Order of Merit by virtue of the fact that he hasn't played enough tournaments. This is Ricky Barnes. He's, at 6 under. Playing 5th.
Nice touch.
Now back to the 3rd. Leany for birdie. Up a tier. All the way uphill. It'll try and break to his right at the end. Hang on to that line. Oh, gee. Right in the heart.
I fancy some of these guys are miscalculating the speed of these greens. Ricky Barnes getting a 3. I don't think we're seeing many putts hold because they look faster than they actually are. And I think what we're seeing quite often is just a lack of pace. Keep the ball on line.
Is leader Chris Downs at 3 to go 10 under. Looks good. Shaved the cup. But at the moment he's showing few signs of nerves and fear.
Well, I always say it starts at the 64th hole, Sandy, which is the 10th, the back 9 on the final day. That's when you really start to feel the pinch.
It's a far cry from when he started out work as an article clerk in a law firm. Mind you, you'd probably have to dodge a few bullets there as well.
It's like bagging pumpkins as well, isn't it? We've all had some kind of weird job to start off with, haven't we?
He holds his lead.
What was yours, Jack, when you were a kid?
I worked at the markets.
There we go.
Loading potatoes on semi-trailers.
Peter Lonard with Jason watching him at 5.
It's a 6 on for Peter Lonard at 5, and that looks straight at it. Line is fantastic. As he judged it right with the breeze, oh, straight over the stick. Look, you can't do a lot better than that. Maybe it'll take a long putt to get Peter Lonard kick-started today.
For a 2.
Now the leader, Chris Downs.
Well, as you said, Jack, genuine 3-shotter. He's just got to get it over the traps. Well, he hasn't done this. He's dragged this way left, and there's a sea of sand over there. Now he's found that furthest to the left-hand traps.
Well, that's not too bad, really. It's come back into the centre of the bunker as we go to Fowler, just cleaning up. And Chris Downs' shot. It's come back into the centre of the bunker, so it's got plenty of room to get it up over the lip.
This is Ricky Barnes, and his birdie attempt at 6. This to go 7 under. Looks good, and it is good for the big American. So he's back in town at 7 under par. His dad, a San Diego Charger, and maybe he's going to make a bit of a charge right now. Parry has stopped at 12. A big name is gone. Appleby's had problems. Allenby struggling to close the gap. And Downs holds his lead. Stephen Allen, 2nd to 7.
Oh, fancy stuff.
Look at that.
You really learn that shot in America. Out of long rough, tight pins, and
a relaxed looking Chris Downs strolling down towards his ball, and Just 23 years of age. Put his toe in the water with the big boys in America last year while the British Open was on. Actually finished 18th in the BC Open, so got a real taste of what it's like.
He's made the most amount of birdies of anybody this week too, Sandy. 16 birdies in 3 rounds. So that's some hot golf.
Let's just shoot ahead to 18 because Leishman has a birdie putt. And this could draw him level, could it not, with James Nitties in the amateur battle, Brett?
Well, James Nitties just made a bogey on 12, so he's +2. So if he makes this Leishman, he's 1 in front of Nitties with Nitties 5 to play.
Good looking putt. Oh. Great looking putt. And again, a cruel finish.
And every kid loves this tournament. Having your name on the best amateur in the Open Championship of the country.
71, 76, 71, 72. A memorable week for Mark Leishman.
Downs now chipping from off the right side here at the par 5 fourth. Good shot.
And Mark would have been inspired. His girlfriend Lauren flew down from Brisbane last night to watch him.
Tom Davis's sister, would you like to know?
Thank you, Jack.
One word to sum this course up right now is brutal. Chooky with a 3-wood into the 8th, just tweaked it a little bit left, got a nice ground hook. I tell you what, that's come down all right. Chook can get it up and down from there, no worries.
Earlier in the week, when I arrived here, this hole was straight into the wind. They were going in with 3 woods as well, and the breeze back into you again. Some hole.
That's a great up and down from Stephen Allen there.
Real spring in the step of the chirpy little defending champ.
Well, this will really put the heat on. Leaney makes this. Goes to 9 under. No. Always left. So he'll remain 8 under.
Umpire Bailey signal wide there.
And Downs with about a 2-metre putt to retain his lead, and it's no snack putt either.
He might just need the support of his girlfriend Lauren. He leads by 1. Jason, you're watching the big American on the tee at 7.
Ricky Barnes with a 6-iron here at 7. Line looks very good. Just comes down to whether he's judged the wind correctly. Really starting to gust up here. And this one perhaps just a half club short, but right on line.
It's a young fella from Stockton, which is 80 miles west of San Francisco.
Let's go back to Ricky Barnes on the previous hole. A Primus Telecom hot shot, and indeed it was.
Now lives in Scottsdale, Arizona, and playing with him, Craig Jones.
5-iron for Craig Jones. Tracking towards the centre of the green. Looks pretty good for length from back here. Oh, look, that's a pretty good shot. He's got about 20 foot for birdie here at 7, Craig Jones.
Got a fair record too in the Australian Open. He tied for 15th last year.
Robert Allenby, birdie putt at the 9th. Way right, big swing back to the left.
Now Chris Downs. Wow. Finally a change at the top of the leaderboard. And 8 under is the figure. Jones, Downs, Leaney, all locked together. Finally, I think we have some movement, ladies and gentlemen.
Interesting.
We're away.
Very interesting. It's warming up.
We'll take a break. More shortly from Moona in the final round.
And what did you do, Sandy, for your first job? Jack was potatoes, I was pumpkins?
I brashed pine trees.
Brashed pine
It's a job I wouldn't recommend. I think we'll just take the break. Ninja. Some great golf courses too, and Moona is the latest as we move to the ace hole the 5th. And Stephen Leaney. If you've joined us, 3 players sharing the lead. Pat, we're in for a big finish.
It's going to be fantastic, Sandy, and this is just a hell pin. Tucked front right. Anything left of the flag gets slung further left. Now he started this way right. He wants the breeze to touch it. It is touching, and it hasn't got the length though. It's going to come all the way down the hill. And yet another one of those really, really difficult chips with the flag way above your head.
Let's move to Peter Lonard, and a birdie attempt at 6. Now he needs to get moving here.
Look out. Oh,
he is moving.
Drano, centre cut. And he's rolling.
So let's see how Chris Downs handles this current situation with the drop shot now in his bag and that pin placement, Brett.
Well, it's tough, Sandy, because the breeze is off the right and slightly into the player's face, and you don't want to go right. There's a big, big bunker just to the right and short, and as Paddy called it, don't go left either. It'll keep going left, as this one is.
This one is heading left. It's going to sling further. Yep.
Oh,
in the trap again. So, as Radar said, this place is becoming hell on wheels now.
Yes, and we've had a forecast that there are storms brewing. Ricky Barnes, a long putt at 7. Barnes just 1 shot off the pace, Jack.
Yeah, he's right there, Sandy, and look, it's really tightening up, and I think it's going to be a case of just par him to death out here the way this is at the moment.
Now this will certainly test Chookie's short game out. Oh, look how good this bloke plays. Go in.
It is.
Oh. Up and down out of a ball washer, Chookie, with the lid cover on.
Let's join Craig Jones. This will give him the outright lead. This to go to 9 under.
Boy, he's hit a couple of pure putts that haven't gone down. He's probably playing steadier than anybody right at this moment.
I'd agree with that, Jack. He's hitting every green. He's solid, burning the edge. Only a matter of time before one of those drops in.
So he stays at 8 under and retains a share of the lead.
He's at the most greens in regulation for the week, Craig Jones. 13, 13 and 14 respectively.
Barnes 1 off the pace as we join Robert Allenby on his 64th hole.
Blind second shot into 10. Look at that, just getting away on him on the slope. That is another mean pin there, short left with the breeze at the players' backs.
Oh. Now to Chookie, dead straight, just inside left edge. Oh, what a par. What an up and down.
So he remains still well in contention. 2 from the lead, with so far just 4 players breaking 70. I'll give you a good idea of what confronts Stephen Leaney. Just under 30 metres to the pin. Second shot to this par 3 5th.
Well, the only shot he has here is a little Scottish bump and run. He looks like he's got the 7-iron in hand, so it'll bumping along the ground. The only shot he has. See if he judges. It looks good. Well, not too bad. Very, very difficult shot.
Peter Lonard now at 7, coming off that great putt for a birdie at the 6th. And he's tugged that left on the breeze, and gee, short-sighted himself. You see the pin cut on the left. Only saving grace is he's back into the breeze.
Jones now on the tee at 8. Jason.
Craig Jones. This one heading down the left side now. It's a 247 carry to that left fairway trap into the teeth of the breeze. And he hasn't got the carry. That is in the trap. It's actually gone onto the up face. We'll have a very short iron. Now that can't get home here at 8.
Now back to Chris Downs. Par 3, 5th. So both he and Leaney are left with a little bit of work to do there.
The Jones boy could find himself alone in the lead in the not too distant future as we move ahead to Allenby at 10. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Because everyone's going to hit some wayward shots with this breeze really picking up now. Look at this shot Peter Lonard's got. Opens the sand on right up the stance, way up, and try and fling it up in the air and get it to land soft. Oh, that's an excellent shot. Excellent shot from Lonard. Pin's only 5 from the left-hand side, so he had nothing to work with.
And this is another big putt, Brett, this time for Stephen Leaney.
Just outside right lip, up the slope. Go. Oh, ran out of speed.
So, for the moment, he loses a share of the lead. We're back to 2, Jones and Downs.
Yeah, I think the breeze beat that. A little bit of right to left, but the breeze across him.
Now to the 8th. No shot here for Craig Jones, just sandwich about 40 metres down the fairway. And really, I feel that was a bad play off the 8th. You cannot fly that fairway trap today, so 3 wood and another wood should have been the play for Jones.
Allenby at 10 to try and save par. And that wind really howling around this course now. And the red figures from here on in are going to be an absolute bonus. 8 under is the leader's score. But I think it's time that we hang on to our hats and we hope for the best in the run home.
With Tiger Woods grabbing the spotlight in the 1996 Open, Greg Norman revelled in the relative anonymity, giving the American and the rest of the field something to chase with a first round 67. The Shark ground the field into submission in winning his 5th Open by an amazing 8 strokes. The only man to bet a par around a testing Australian layout and the first player to win back-to-back Opens since Jack Nicklaus 20 years earlier.
And that was officially a doddle in the park as we join Chris Downs on the tee at 8.
That's the 6th hole, Sandy. Tee shot at 6.
Sorry, yep, 6.
Getting all excited.
Well, it's that time of the afternoon, isn't it? As we now watch Peter Fowler, who is a couple off the pace.
Fine exhibition of a strike right there. Chook 3-iron in hand, honing in there. Is it coming in too hot, low? Just running by. Great shot in here. He's doing well out here, guys.
And as you said, Jack Newton, it'll take some short game coming down the stretch here on this back 9 with the breeze up, tough conditions. You're not going to hit every green.
Ricky Barnes now. Straight back into the teeth of the breeze. The abbreviated follow through, trying to punch it in. Looks like he's hung that out to the right. Ooh. And we spoke about a fair bit of lateral movement in his golf swing over the last couple of days, and when it gets windy like this, it'll bring out the flaws in his swing.
Now Stephen Leaney.
There's the only hole on this course with no bunkers. This one just a touch left. Yeah, look, it won't be too bad over there, to tell you the truth. Have a shot at about 120 metres.
Well, there's another one added to the list, and it comes from this young man, Chris Downs, the 23-year-old.
Fantastic shot.
And it's given him a little bit of breathing space.
Now Leaney on the same hole. Pretty straight putt from where he is. It won't move a great deal. Slightly back up the hill. Lonard holed it from here a little while ago, so very makeable. Great putt. So Leaney remains 7 under in a tie for second with Craig Jones, but they're 2 back now. Chris Downs.
Here's how quickly it can change. 1 minute, 3 players sharing the lead, and now Downs has snuck away and opened up a 2-stroke buffer, and just making it that much more difficult for players like Allenby, who's here trying to save par and can't at 11. So one would suggest that the Masters champion has run for another Australian Open title is gone.
And there's 3 bogeys in the last 4 holes for Robert.
Peter Fowler, though, is hanging on, 3 shots shy, and still a chance of winning his second Open. 10. Just didn't quite hit it, but he's remaining cool and calm as players like Jones try and catch him, but he's gone from bunker to bunker here. Spending plenty of time in the sand is Craig. He's 2 shots shy of Downs.
Yep, that's 2 try.
And now Stephen Leaney. This to get him to 8 under, to within 1. But a little bit like Craig Parry yesterday, not finding the cup today. He remains at even par for the day. And this is Peter Lonard. That was for par. So Peter Lonard is running out of time if he's going to make a strong challenge. Peter Fowler, on the other hand, has a birdie putt here, Brett.
Slippery, very quick from above the hole. He's got through the tough holes, 8 and 9, number 1 and 2 on the card today, in 2 pars, so that'll be a certain par 4 for Fowler.
As we head to the 8th, and our leader on the tee. And Pat, he's got the heavy artillery out.
Well, I'm surprised, Sandy. I moved further down the track, but I just had a look and I said, that's the big dog. So he's given this a rip out to the right. He's got to try and avoid the sea of traps, which are right in the driving area.
No. Bad play.
Yeah.
Course management.
It was 3 wood, wasn't it, Brett, I thought?
Paddy, into the breeze, that golf hole when I played practice round, and that it's 3 wood all day into the wind to keep those
What would he be? Would
out
he
of play.
be a little pumped? Is it that adrenaline as we have a look at this hole?
Well, I don't know about adrenaline, Sandy, but really, you have a look here. These 4 sets of bunkers, 2 on the right and 2 on the left. The 2 on the left are 247 to carry. The right, you pretty much can't carry. But it's 3 wood all day long, this hole, and sure, you're going in with a 2-iron or a 3-iron to this long par 4, but that's the play. Take the bunkers out of play. Peter Thompson's made sure that when you get in the bunkers here, you will be penalised, and that's the way the golf course should play. This green very much elevated up, very high, and big roll-offs all the way around the front left and all the way around the right. And the pin cut today, there's a big shelf in the middle of this green as well, and the pin cut just on top, but course management is a huge, huge thing, and Chris Downs didn't do it well as we go to Ricky Barnes. That needs to settle. There's a ridge there too. Oh, teetering, I can tell you.
So is Ricky, I think.
Well, that's 30 metres back down there if it's got any more spin on it.
Let's go to Leaney now on the tee.
This guy has got great course management. Has the fairway medal out, Paddy.
Smart play, 225 to reach these traps on the rights. That's where it's headed. And yeah, he's hit at 224.
That's exactly where you put it.
Just the one birdie today for Stephen so far. That came at the second. Dropped a shot at 5. Now Jones. This is his 4th shot. And a pretty good one too for Craig.
Three iron in hand, Chook. Good looking swing. Got more wriggles than a can of worms after contact, but coming straight to the middle of the green. Rolling around, really good shot. Just above the hole, great birdie opportunity.
Yes, you could hear him say, oh yeah, be the ball. And it just about was. For this great veteran who now bases himself in New Zealand.
Now Ricky Barnes up the slope. That for par. Very good effort. Another drop shot for the big American. And he's going the wrong way, Sandy.
First prize, $270,000 today. And there is a huge rumour, Brett, sweeping the course at the moment that Peter Thompson was seen with a broad smile on his face as he saw the flags almost being blown off their stick. So we've sought him out, and he's going to join us after the break. The great man who designed this course will be with us to talk about the 4 days and the arrival of the wind.
American barrel, he finished tied with David Graham, with no American in sight. The next day, Thompson would strike a blow for the 40-year-olds by winning the playoff by 6 strokes.
And I'm happy to say that Peter Thompson has joined us. We'll watch Stephen Leaney, though. He would appear to be the one at the moment that can chase down Chris Downs.
Now Peter Lonard, second shot at 9, straight into the breeze. Likes it. Roll on. It's a terrific shot from Lonard. He's not out of it yet. 5 under. He'll have that to go to 6.
And here's Chris Downs.
His caddies told him he's got 125 metres to reach the bunkers that cross the fairway and guard this green. So he's requested a 9-iron. It's still very deep. I'm standing pretty close to him. I can only just see his hat. That's how deep these cross bunkers are. 9-iron for Downs. As I said, he doesn't want it to get it any further than 120 metres, leaving a pitch of about 60 metres. That's perfect.
Peter Thompson, welcome to you.
Thanks, Sandy.
Was the rumour right? A broad smile? The wind is up, the challenge is there.
Well, I've been wishing for it all week, I suppose, but well, we've had 3 beautiful, calm days, and now this is the retribution, I think. But there's not just one wind today, the north wind. We're going to have a southwester in an hour or so.
Yeah, that's the cool change on its way, where the bulk of our weather comes from. So it's going to make for a very interesting finish, Peter.
Yes, it's already very interesting, and the question now remains is whether Downs can hold up that lead.
Well, if Peter Fowler can't get putts like that, he may well do.
Have you been happy, Peter, with the week and the course? I mean, you're probably going to have a debriefing. Is there any one thing that you might bring up or mention or want to discuss?
No, I think it's been prepared perfectly. You couldn't imagine anything better than this in the way of fairway lies and speed of greens and the softness of greens. It's just about right.
Peter Lonard would be happy at the moment because he's gone to 6 under and is not out of it.
Now Peter Fowler just tidying up. And he's right in the thick of the action, Peter Fowler. Through 11, so 6 holes to go. I think the way the wind's going, the way everything's going, certainly looking like to me maybe 8 under will win this championship.
Ricky Barnes, second shot, and he's still carving up your course, Peter.
More soup plates.
Oh dear, he's at 5 under playing 10.
And Peter, my hat goes off to you as well, you and the committee. I'm really pleased to see that you were out there in full control of this year. No controversy. The greens were a mint speed, and even if they blew hard this week, and they would not blow the balls off the green, which my hat goes off to you and the committee. Terrific job.
Thanks for that.
Leany, an outside chance at a birdie, but it's a big putt. Oh, it's a good putt, Peter, though, isn't it?
Oh, that's a super putt from down there. He must have putted uphill about a metre there.
So he'll remain at 7 under as he heads to his ball. It's fitting that you're here today on this day because it's an old mate of yours, Kel Nagel's 83rd birthday today.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? What a wonderful man he is, and I send him as usual my best wishes. I'm just thinking, you know, he would have played well today. He'd have made a good score where others wouldn't.
Here's Jones. Another long putt. This is to go 7 under. Leaving it short. You played Canada Cup?
Several times. About 5. We won 2.
59.
Finished second about 2 or 3 times.
Here's a big putt. Chris Downs. And, well, look at that. Still yours, Chris. So things are going to take on a very new turn here.
They're the worst 2 words in golf, Sandy.
Still yours.
Still yours.
Remember, that was for par. He leads by 2.
And Leany's certain 4. And this one's downhill. Pretty straight. Might try and go just a little bit to his right, but I tell you, if this is a bit of a wishy-washy stroke. Well holed. Well holed.
Keeping the damage to just 1. He's back to 8 under and he leads by 1. But that again draws Jones and Fowler and Lonard in particular deep into the equation, and you can't leave out Allen, Barnes or Conran. 5 under.
No, somebody's going to post a score, Sandy. They're going to post something like a 7 or 8 under with Downs, you know, still having 3 or 4 holes to play. So this is really getting hot.
How have you assessed this young boy's form, Peter?
Rick Barnes? Well, we did comment yesterday that he's got a very powerful action. He destroys the golf ball just about when he whacks it off the tee. Not quite perfect, though.
Here's Robert Allenby, and an eagle putt for him, but not really Robert's day today. And he's even for the day, 4 under for the championship as we go back to Ricky Barnes, who taps in for par. So $270,000 first prize, second prize $153,000, but it's more the name that goes onto the Stonehaven Cup. That's what it's all about.
Always class, the Stonehaven, the Pickworth Medal, Australian PGA, and then the Australian Masters, the Gold Jacket, is the three primo events in Australian golf, Sandy.
And we're reaching a climax with our leaders about to hit the back 9, and that's when it all starts in this Australian Open. This has proved a challenge this week, Peter.
Well, yes, it has indeed. 200 metres of serious challenge here. Well, that's a good result. You never putt for a 2.
We talked about the amateur race going on a short time ago. James Nitties is currently at +1, and the race will continue. Nitties has just edged in front. Only by 1. Leisham from Warrnambool has already completed his round.
From the second par 3 on the back 9 to the first par 3, and Craig Jones. Good long iron into this hole today, and a terrific shot. Good shot from Barnes and Jones there. 2 good opportunities for a 2.
And really the only players that have made any move at all in the top 15 or 20 are Robert Allenby, who's 1 under, Peter Fowler, who is 1 under, and that is it. The rest, like Leaney and Downs, are even for the day. Conran's 1 over, Appleby's 5 over, Matthew Miller's 3 over. It's proving to be tough, as it should. There's rain just spitting over the course as we watch our leader, Chris Downs, playing 9. He's at 8 under. And Jack Newton returning at an opportune time. Things starting to get very interesting, Jack.
Yeah, look, I said at the start of the show that par should be your friend today in this strong wind, and that's proving to be the case.
Look at the pants of Peter Lonard flying in the wind as he just misses his birdie attempt. That would have brought him to within 1 shot. And there's the Peter Thompson mound, who he insists was there.
I insist it was years, thousands of years ago. But it's a very prominent feature, isn't it, of the hole?
And that's one of the great things about this course. You didn't have to do a lot of moving and juggling, did you?
No, we moved very little of anything.
Excellent shot from Leaney. Good chance at a birdie here.
Ricky Barnes needs a couple of birdies pretty smartly. He's even for the day. And that will do him the world of good. And he's certainly not out of it. And we've talked about this amateur race, Jack. James Nitties has just edged in front of Mark Leishman.
Yeah, everyone at Charlestown Golf Club in Newcastle will be... Well, that would have wrapped it up for him. He's done the old 360 horseshoe.
Leishman in the clubhouse at 2 over as we watch Craig Jones. And the more we go into this tournament, the more you've got to be impressed by this young man, Peter.
Yes, it's amazing what he's done. Still leading after each day he's led. But might be a 2-stroke swing here.
Peter Fowler.
Got it. No. Oh. Gee.
He's had a couple of near misses in the last 2 or 3 holes.
1 under for the day is Peter Fowler, but both Fowler and Leaney due for some big putts, as these galleries are really enjoying a real test.
A big putt here for Leaney. This for a birdie to get him to 8 under. And Downs with a ticklish one to save par.
We'll see that in a moment. In the meantime, on 11, Peter Lonard. Jason, what's he got?
Yeah, heading just towards the right edge of the green. Pin cut over this huge trap short of the green. If this gets a good bounce, actually this is going to end up pretty good for Peter Lonard.
Just shows you how long that hole's playing now. He's hit the rescuer there off the tee.
Peter Fowler missing his birdie attempt, and again having to be satisfied with par. He needs a couple of birdies smartly, although he is 1 under for the day. One of the few in red figures for the day of the leading division.
A big putt here. Just to save par at 9.
He's handling it well, Peter.
Very well indeed. I just looked at his ball there. He's got some kind of marking on the ball to perhaps assist with the putting. Perfectly legal. Uncommon, though.
They put some strange things on balls nowadays, though, don't they? Did you ever go into the artwork in a fashion?
Well, I tried just about everything, but nothing worked.
I think you did all right. But it shows how good, Jack, also that round of Craig Spence was to shoot 65.
Well, he took advantage of those earlier par 5s and then just kept it going. But I would say that these fellas this afternoon have had a much stiffer examination with the wind growing in strength.
Leaney for par. And he remains at 7 under, but it's another opportunity missed.
Yeah, good chance to close the gap. Missed there by Lenny.
Ahead to 14. Robert Allenby. Well, he's had a big year. He's had success in Australia already, winning the gold jacket at Huntingdale. We're talking about Craig Spence. He started the day in a tie for 43rd place. He's currently holding down a share of 9th. So
65 will do it.
Big effort, isn't it, eh? And Robert Allenby did make that putt, but he needs a lot more of those. We'll take a break. More shortly.
You got 3 or 4 holes. Can he get one in? This for 2.
One of the few in red figures today. Peter Fowler. That was his 3rd shot.
At the 13th for par 5,
yes.
down breeze. And so you rather fancy he needed to make 4 here.
Yep. And ahead to 18. Craig Parry. Again, an Australian Open title is going to elude him. One of the few big events that he hasn't been able to win in Australia.
Ricky Barnes. And that birdie at 11. It's got him right back in the thick of things.
To 18, and the final putt for Craig Parry. Christmas Day beckons after a round of 73, and he finishes at 1 under for the championship.
Craig Jones, birdie putt at 12. No. He doesn't look to be striking the putts too badly, but he just seems to have a touch of the knees. And there's our high shot at 10 up above. Leaney in the bottom right of your screen. Chris Downs further up. And there's the shot from behind, Pat Welsh.
His caddy's told him he's got 98 front, 12 to the flag. Can't see the flag from where he is, but this looks very good. Now it's got to sit down, see if it checks up for him. Right over the top of the flags. It's tough to judge a distance, Jack, isn't it, when you're completely blotted out?
Well, it is, and also the pin just 12 metres on the front of the green. Ricky Barnes now for par. That strange putting grip works.
He trails this man by 2, who's trying to have a look at this. That's what lies ahead for him.
Yeah, really, to get this close, you've got to pitch it just on the front of the green, and with the down breeze, it'll take a leap forward and then check.
Just 85 metres, Jack. Looks to have played it well. This has added it well. Now see if it takes the check. Both pretty good results, considering the breeze at their backs. Although I must admit, guys, the breeze is starting to drop.
Yes, that could signify some rain and a possible wind change from the southwest or west, which is where the bulk of Melbourne's weather comes from. Now, big putt here for Peter Fowler if he's going to continue to stay in touch with the leaders. And he's left it short.
Yeah, downhill and putting back into the wind, having an effect.
Robert Allenby at this juncture still is not without hope.
No. Birdie there at 16 gets him to 6 under, so
big effort on 16, Peter.
I would say so. That must have been a sensational second shot.
Well, who knows if he could finish like Stephen Allen did a couple of days ago.
Yep, 2-4.
He might just set them something and be sitting there in the clubhouse.
Absolutely. 16 playing down breeze today, though. It's been playing into the sou'wester all week, or the southerly.
We'll return to Stephen in a moment. In the meantime, Peter Lonard playing his second to 12. Jason, you're with him?
Peter Lonard from 114 taking a 9-iron back in the breeze, calling for it to sit down, heading just right of the pin. Yeah, not a bad shot. Another birdie opportunity, Peter Lonard, but he needs to make one.
Back at the 10th, Stephen Leaney and Chris Downs about to negotiate this green, which has quite a bit of slope to it. It'll move quite sharply from his right to left. Well, he read it like me, but it went the other way.
And Peter's having a bit of a grin. You're a sadist.
This green is too levelled, and this putting is on the upper level, which is just about flat.
It's quite a complex here now. We had the opening of the Institute yesterday, and we saw this morning, Peter, some of the museum pieces that are surrounding the pro shop.
Yes, there's a lot going on here.
I believe there's more construction going on.
Well, there'll be more hotel rooms built next year. No more golf, though.
No.
Now, Chris Downs, who leads by 1, this to stretch his lead. He tried to get it to come from the right as well, and it didn't move.
Stuart Appleby hasn't had a day that he'd really like to remember.
30.
Needs something to get him going. Needs something. Finally. Well, 5 over for the day. And 1 under for the championship.
Stephen Leaney cleaning up for par. And looks like he's going to trail by 1 with just 8 holes left.
Moving ahead to 18, the amateur battle continues. James Nitties can parcel it up here. Well, that was for a birdie, so he still should be okay. He should win the amateur title by 1. As we return to our leader, Downs. Safely in for par, and he holds a 1-stroke lead.
Can't speak highly enough of him. This is a tough ask to lead all the way. And what a terrific couple of weeks James Nitties has had. Played very well at the Masters in Huntingdale and backed it up again here.
Any talk of a time to turn pro, Jack? Have you any idea?
I haven't really spoken to him about it, but I would think that it's the decision is not far off, I would have thought.
Peter Lonard with the wand in hand to grab a share of second place. This to go 7 under and be 1 behind Downs.
Come on.
What a fascinating day it has been so far. Here's Craig Parry. This is his tee shot on 5. And like those before him, finding the stick. Whilst at the second, Jack, Robert Allenby.
Yeah, his second shot to the par 5. And a beauty, just trickling off the back edge.
This is Craig Jones, and a birdie start for him at the second.
Chris Downs' little chip from short of the first green after being in the rough from the tee.
All of this action was early today. Stephen Leaney trying to chase down Downs.
This is the shot of the day so far for mine. Difficult pin to get at the 5th, the par 3.
You almost thought you'd give it away another one, Peter. And now Ricky Barnes. More of those is what the American would like. And Peter Lonard.
Yeah, this is a real good putt that Peter Lonard made here at 6, but he hasn't been able to make one since.
Here's Downs. Approach to 6.
This is a great shot. Pitched it absolutely perfectly. Kick in putt for birdie.
So drama and excitement all coming together on this, the final round of the Australian Open. Stephen Leaney at the par 3 11th.
And a really tough pin to get at today. From back where they are, you can just see the base of the flag over those traps. The commercial shot is towards the centre of the game. Getting it close is very, very difficult. Well, that'll be one of the better ones we'll see today, I imagine.
Well, 202 metres back into the northeasterly breeze. Good clip with the 2-iron there for Stephen Leaney. Beautifully controlled shot. Now leader, Chris Downs.
Three-iron. Now this one up to the right. He's double-crossed himself and just headed for the crowd.
Oh dear. And that pin cut on the right-hand side. This could be interesting.
Well, he missed the really deep rough there. He was on that walking track. He may have a clean lie there, which should be a great break.
There's our Toyota analyzer of this hole as it has played to date. Green in regulation. Hasn't been easy. 48%. Boy, thank you, Peter. And Mark Leishman, the Warrnambool amateur, getting close, 96 centimetres. And let's remember that Chris Downs had double trouble on this hole yesterday.
Peter Lonard finishing out at 12 for his par. So he's 2 back. So we've got Allenby, Fowler, Jones and Lonard and Barnes all at 6. Lenny at 7. And Downs in trouble at 11 at 8.
Just sort of around this time, the old palms get a bit sweaty and head for the water bottle, Peter.
Well, it's an awful strain he's carrying, Downs. Awful strain.
Let's see how he handles it as we head towards the closing stages and a big finish of the 2003 Australian Open.
Stuart Appleby came to Royal Adelaide for the 1998 Open with the hopes of a nation behind him. He'd lost his wife Renee in a car accident in London and was the sentimental favourite. It would be young left-hander Greg Chalmers, though, who etched his name in history as he beat Appleby by 1 stroke. In a postscript to the Open, it was revealed that 84-year-old former champion Norman von Nijder had listened to the sound of the ball hitting Nick Faldo's putter and suggested a correction to his stroke. Though legally blind, the Von was spot on.
Yes, that was a great chase home by Appleby and Faldo, but they couldn't catch him now. Moment of truth, perhaps, Jack, for Downs?
Yeah, tough shot. And... now that was a real indecisive shot. Hit it fat. But in fairness, where the people had been walking, trampled the grass down.
Here's Craig Jones at 13, Jason.
195 left for Craig Jones, 4-iron. This looks fantastic. Feeding up to the back, should come back down off that slope at the back. This is just continuing to trickle back. He's going to have an excellent eagle opportunity here at 13. Craig Jones.
Still meandering towards the cup. And this is going to be very, very interesting. Downs in trouble. And there we see an eagle putt coming up. And now Barnes.
Barnes looks like he's got a lofted wedge in his hand here.
Oh. No, he'll be right. He's going to get closer.
Oh. 2 great shots. Well, actually, we've just heard that Barnes was in fact on for 3. That wasn't too... it was impossible to hit the ball that far. Now, can he reduce the damage to just 1? Oh, that's a beautiful shot. That is a beautiful shot given the circumstances, and catching the first one heavy.
Boy, just 1 shot though can bring so many players back into this tournament. Here's Craig Jones' eagle putt, starting left side of the cup and stopping at the door. But that'll be a 2-stroke turnaround. He'll get his birdie. Downs will drop hopefully only 1, and all of a sudden we could have 4 players at 7 under unless Leaney does something quite extraordinary. So 4 players all at 7 under. The first playoff hole will be 18.
Is that what you're calling, Sandy, is it?
I think the odds are shortening. Gee, what a finish. Fowler, Jones, Barnes, Leaney and Downs. 5 players at 7 under.
Barnes gets a birdie at 13. So he goes to 7 under and joins Jones, his playing partner. Peter Fowler gets a birdie at 14.
He's in the group, as we said, too. So you have 5 players at 7, 2 at 6 and 3 at 5.
He got out of it. Only 1 shot lost after that fat chip shot from way right at 11.
Here's one of our leaders. Former Australian Open Wayne Riley is watching another one. Right up.
Peter Fowler, perfect position down here. I mean, it's going straight down the fairway. Wouldn't it be great to see him win the tournament 20 years after he won his first Australian Open, 83?
It certainly would. And it would be fitting for the work that he's put in. A number of former champs out there, some on the fairway commentating, others are playing. Here's one, a 94 winner, Robert Allenby. And he's well in the mix.
You rather fancy, though, that birdies are going to be hard to come by, particularly here. Perhaps going to run out of holes. So the northerly still behind the players here at 17. The wind hasn't swung yet.
Given that the wind is as it is at the moment, Peter, as we'll have a look at this Analuser at 17, is there one hole that you can either win or lose this tournament on for those players that are still out on the course?
Well, any one hole you could birdie or drop 2 shots.
Look at Andrew Mackenzie, got to within 92 centimetres here on the par 3 17th.
Now Peter Lonard, second shot to the par 5 13. Jason, you're with him.
5 iron from 192 for Peter Lonard, straight at it from back here, holding its line. Just needs to be the right length, running up the back, sit. Oh, and he didn't get the break that Craig Jones got. That sat in the rough up the back of the green.
Well.
Peter Fowler.
Peter Fowler 155 into this 15th hole. Really accessible pin. Got it going in there high, just left of it. Will it feed down there? Fine looking shot for the chook.
Yeah, he won't go away, Peter Fowler.
I remember he was coming off double bogey yesterday. Bogey today, going to bury that last hole, I think. This one to the left of the flag. Sit down now. Oh, another half a metre and it was trickling away, but that's okay.
$270,000 first prize, $153,000 second prize, $101,250 third prize.
Quite extraordinary here that Peter Lonard's ball stayed up that hill when in the group before. Both of them came back a long way off that slope. But this will be for an eagle.
Need some chewing gum on this one, Jack.
Oh, it's slick. Don't worry about that.
I'll tell you who else hasn't gone away. It's the boy with the local knowledge, Marty Doyle. He's a shot from the lead. 6
been
under.
A fantastic effort by him, hasn't it?
With Peter Lonard, who's also on 6 under.
Now he's just got to literally chip this right in front of his nose, and the slope will do the rest. Back in his stance, just a short backswing and just pop it onto that fringe. Settle. Lovely shot. A few spots of rain there appearing on Pete's shirt, so let's hope this storm does stay away and let's finish this championship off.
Peter Fowler for the outright lead. Misses, and the reason I mentioned Doyle was still in it, he's picked up successive birdies on 12, 13 and 14. Welcome home.
That'll bring you right in contention very quickly. The back 9 of the last round. Now Stephen Leaney, big opportunity for a birdie here at 12. This to take the lead. Hasn't won for 5 years in Australia. Did win the German Masters last year, but this home soil and our biggest championship. Tester for a par now.
Peter Fowler to clean up. Had a number of good opportunities that he just hasn't been able to capitalise.
Let's move ahead to 17 and Robert Allenby. This for a share of the lead.
Well, he makes that. Birdie's the last and posts 7 under. Jack, a tough finish.
Yeah, I think he's got a shot at getting in the playoff. I think if he does that. Chris Downs, little rush of blood, very quick, and that's obviously why we saw Stephen Leaney just dribble his.
As Lonard finishes off and picks up a shot though, and that means he joins the clan at 7 under. And just while you're coming home, another little one to ponder. We talked about Martin Doyle. Well, Matthew Ekob's not done with yet. He's just had a 2 on 15, and he's moved to 5 under.
Everybody's doing it.
Big putt here, Downs. Right lip, must make. Nope, pulled it. Things slipping away. So he'll drop out of the tie for the lead.
It was 6, now 5 at 7 under par.
Well, he has got the easiest hole on the golf course coming, the par 5 13th. Yielded 5 eagles and 24 birdies today.
Yes, but that means that Stephen Leaney does as well, and he's at 7 under.
Well, he's not in yet either.
No, no.
Back-to-back bogeys there from Downs at 11 and 12. But as Brett said, he's got 13, a par 5 that line if you can get it on the fairway.
And obviously 15's playing easy. Ecob just hold his second, as Sandy Roberts said.
Gee, what a story it'd be if he won.
Now back to the tee at 13. Chris Downs. Big tee shot for the young fellow.
Oh, this is headed way right. This is not the hole that he could afford to be off the cut stuff. He desperately needed birdie here, and that's settling down in the thick rough.
Light rain continuing to fall. And Peter Fowler, 2nd to 16.
320 off the tee for Chook, sand iron in hand. Fine looking shot just out the right with a little bit of suck back sally as well.
Tell you what, it would be one emotional victory if Peter Fowler could be standing at the dais at the end of the day with his name again going on the Stonehaven Cup.
Peter Lonard, second shot to 14 from the right rough. He's just been distracted. Jason, you're with him?
Yeah, he's just heard a bit of noise. One of the photographers up on the hill is backed away. He's caught a pretty good lie here up in the rough. Just 94 metres, plenty of green to work with over this front trap. Just going to reset himself, put the club away.
Rain getting heavier out there, Jason?
Just a few spots, Brett. Nothing to worry about. Breeze, minimal. It's actually very nice conditions at the moment if it stays like this.
Actually, if his lie's okay, Jason, he's actually not a bad spot to come in with that pin cut back left.
No, exactly right, Jack. He can fly this thing pretty high. He's got plenty of green to work with, and I mean, with the championship on the line, you expect Peter Lonard to make a pretty good fist of it from here. Looks a little left. Needs to sit down. Oh, that's a great shot from there from Peter Lonard.
So both pin high either side.
Now back to the 13th. Leaney, middle of the fairway. Iron in hand.
Kidding me?
Pat?
He's got 205, golf cart moving in the background. He's just stepped away. Tough flag to get at, but centre of the green, 2 putt, take your birdie and grab the lead.
Yardage, Pat, what does he have left from where he is?
205 metres to the flag. So the breeze has died a little. Now he's taken this right at the flag. Ooh. Just drifted out a little. It's okay. Now watch it feed back down. It'll be better all the time from back here on the fairway.
Smart shot. Very, very smart shot.
Let's move ahead to 18 to see if Robert Allenby can post a score. It is his second to the last. Remember, the final hole here at Moona is a par 5.
Almost a par 6, Sandy. 636 yards. 582 metres.
Chris Downs' second shot from right-hand rough. And he's had a few bunker problems today. You didn't see him, apart from 11 yesterday, he drove it perfect.
And now Barnes, who's in that group at 6 under par.
Very good shot from where he was. Took his medicine, hit it in the middle of the green.
Now Lonard, this for birdie, this to go to the lead. Oh, geez, he's left some short today. Right in the heart. I can remember 3 of them. So that'll be a par 4 for Lonard. He'll remain at 7 under.
1 under for the day. A man who is 2 under for the day is Peter Fowler. Can he snare the outright lead? Well, he's hit it, but
boy, he's had some chances, Peter Fowler.
Now Craig Jones. He was in trouble off the tee. This is his 3rd shot here. And a beauty. But he'll still have that left for a par 4, though. And to stay in that 4-way tie for the lead.
Fowler missing his birdie and now making par to stay at 7 under with Jones, Lonard and Leaney. 18, 15, 16, 17, 18 will be the playoff holes should they be required. That's the ball of Chris Downs. We'll take a break and come back shortly to see how he fares. The roles have changed for Chris Downs. He's hanging on a bit now, and he's got some catching up to do. A big finish, however, is assured here at Moona Links as it hosts for the first time the Australian Open, presented by Hillross Financial. Well, Chris Downs.
Tough shot at this stage of the championship. 45-metre bunker shot.
Now Robert Allenby. His 3rd shot here at the last. He's 6 under. I tell you, if he holds this, might be out of the question. But as good as he plays this shot, I expect this very close. Nice punch, low, flat, skip it in, check. Well, sounded a little heavy, got a nice kick forward. So he'll have that left.
He's got a chance.
To post 7 under par.
He's got a chance to join that quartet and be the man in the clubhouse. Although Stephen Leaney now has this putt for a 3.
He looks to be the one, Jack, that's really in control, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's just played steady. He hasn't done anything too fancy, but he's just kept himself in the game. Ricky Barnes now to get to 7 under. And not the sort of putt you want to leave yourself at this stage of the championship.
Back to Chris Downs. Outside chance and a birdie.
Well, with his length on 13, you really expected him to make at least a birdie at worst. Barnes needs it. Got it. So he stays at 6 under, just one back. These closing holes are not easy.
Steve Conran and a birdie attempt at 14. He's in that group at 6 under. He's even for the day.
Bogeyed the first, Sandy, and birdied 13.
Big putt now for Craig Jones. He's, remember, at 7 under. This for par. Oh, that's a good putt. He hasn't made one of any note all day. That's a good time to make one.
Now on the tee at 17. 2 to go for Peter Fowler, Wayne Riley.
Peter Fowler straight down the breeze, 178. Coming in radar-like, pardon the pun. Is it coming in a bit too hot? Just going to run to the back edge. Chance of a birdie.
Tough pin placement. That one on 17 today, front left, downwind. You do not want to be short. It's 30 metres back down.
Leaney for the lead on his own. Gets it. So Stephen Leaney heads the leaderboard alone at 8 under par.
Steve Conran cleaning up for par. So he stays at 6 under. They get harder and harder as these holes wind down on the last day of an Australian Open.
Will he make it, Jack?
Look, I think he's capable of making it, obviously. I just don't think he's putted well all week.
In or out, Jack?
I think he's going to miss it left.
I reckon he make it.
Oh, good call. Jackson.
Genius crystal ball, man.
That was a good looking putt too.
So he'll rue through the stretch of 7, 8, 9, 10. Robert Allenby.
A round of 70. Pretty consistent 4 days, and he finishes at 6 under par. And a strenuous 7-week stretch of golf has come to an end for Robert Allenby.
And no practice round either,
No.
Sandy, remember?
Yeah, it was a blind date for him.
And it was pretty easy for Robert Allenby to blow off these last couple of weeks too, and it was great to see him come back and support the Australasian tour.
Big putt here for Peter Fowler. That was for share of the lead, but it's not to be. Leaney hanging on. It's like being on a boat going down the rapids, and we start with a full crew, but one by one they're getting taken off. It's a tough run home, but it's great viewing, and I hope you're enjoying it on the 7 Network.
Now Craig Jones. Big drive, doesn't like it. Not too bad though.
I think that could be a crucial hole, that 16th. Down breeze, someone will make birdie, and if it's Stephen Leaney, it might be enough.
Ahead to 17, Martin Doyle. Three straight birdies on 12, 13 and 14.
One of the better shots we've seen into the 17th today, and that is a very makeable putt.
Gives himself another chance.
Bit of local knowledge in that one,
Yeah.
I reckon. Chris Downs, who's gone right again off the tee here. Sit down, sit down. Oh, that's a magic shot. Excellent chance at a birdie to get him back into the thick of things.
Just 7 groups remaining out on the course. Jones for a share of the lead. Not to be.
Now Leaney, this to go 2 in front. Looks good. Oh, burns it again. Thought he hit a pure putt there.
Jones to tidy up, make his par. He does, remains at 7 under.
That's what tension does when you get too tight. You don't swing the putter back far enough and you leave it short. Great comeback birdie for Chris Downs after a couple of bogeys. Didn't birdie the par 5 13th. Gets an unexpected birdie there to get back within 1 of Stephen Leaney.
No problems for the leader. Such a fantastic year this year, runner-up in the US Open, and he's taking Shags, Peter O'Malley's caddy, with him next year for a full-out tilt at the US Tour. He's very, very serious and is a firm believer that he can do well with his game in America.
Well, I think he's had 5 or 6, 7 goes at the Tour over there and keeps on missing by 1. Lonard birdie putt. Got it to the hole.
Now Ricky Barnes. Oh, and that was for birdie as well to get Barnes back to 7 under.
He's running out of holes, is Ricky.
Gee, he certainly gives that putter a serious workout, doesn't he?
Could well be staying in Australia.
That putter.
Rest and recreation.
Look, there's nothing wrong with a bit of spirit. I reckon you've got to have.
Peter Fowler, long way back on this 582 metre, back into the breeze, just a wood, just to position it. He's got to watch a sea of bunkers. There's 4 bunkers up this 18th.
Got the driver out though, Brett. Knocked it on here the other day. Can't get it on today, but oof.
I think that was shut your eyes and hope on that one, Jack.
Well, he's done all right.
And down the right too, which is where you want to be with your second, because if you're anything middle to left of the fairway, difficult pitch with those mounds in front of the flagstick.
Lonard gets his par and remains at 7 under. Steve Conran is a stroke further back at the moment, so he's got to make a move smartly. Twice the winner of the Vanuatu Open.
Well, that's a long way offline, that one, and he has no shot from where he is there.
Here's a big putt, Jack, for the locals and Marty Doyle. Birdie putt.
And he's long enough to get pretty close to 18 green too.
It's a good line.
Oh. Speed. Speed beat it. A little softer, it would have gone in.
It's Port Phillip Bay, not too far away, and well, someone's going to be heading away like that ship with their name on the Stonehaven Cup. Is it going to be Stephen Leaney? He hasn't won for some 5 years in his home country, but at the moment he's only a few holes away, all being well. A break, and we'll be back to continue our coverage of the Australian Open, brought to you by Hillross Financial. On the last of the par 3s, 17.
Turn over. Come on, turn a bit more. You're there. Feet. Come on. Feet down. Feet.
Feed, he's saying, and it's obliging. So a chance for 2 for Barnes on 17, while back on 15. Leader Stephen Leaney.
expect this nowhere bar the centre of the fairway. He's driven quite beautifully this afternoon, Stephen Leaney. Crowd like it, and that's why. Have a shot of about 145 left.
And importantly, he's on the right side of the fairway to attack the flag, up the left with the pin on the right.
To 18, Peter Fowler, who walked all the way to the green to check out this shot and back, and here he is. Has the stroll paid dividends?
Big putt, Conran. Left lip. Oh, made it. What a fall. You're kidding. Talk about get your monopoly set out and grab those get out of jail free. Huge fall.
Big putt here for Craig Jones in more ways than one.
This for a share of the lead. But at this stage of the Australian Open, you don't expect to make these. But an excellent putt from Craig Jones. He's been impressive today.
Let's go in on 15. And our leader, Stephen Leaney. Scott Hind had a 72 today. Jared Moseley a 76. He really hit a submerged log coming home, Jared. Bogey, bogey, bogey finish.
Yes, this wind stick there just showing you 6.5 kilometres just slightly into his face off the right. Good pin for Leaney right here, front right, Pat.
138 metres. He's having a great look at it. 8 iron, tossing it right at the flag. Just a touch left now. Kick up, stay there. It's okay.
Now Ricky Barnes. Can he get that putter working here? Looks like it comes left, but it didn't move.
It could well be in for another spanking.
At least they can't talk back to you. Stays at 6 under. 2 back.
Now, Chris Downs. Perfect position to attack this pin.
Well, this is headed right. Boy, this is a complete miss from the fairway. It's missed the green by 15, 20 metres.
I think the young fella's starting to feel the pinch. Always happens. 63rd hole on.
And here's the man who could well have the Order of Merit in his keeping, Peter Lonard. Jason?
Just 94 all over the flag. This looks like it could nearly fly in. Oh, he has stiffed it right in the thick of things, Peter Lonard.
Interesting.
Jones for his par then to remain at 7 under.
I thought 8 was the number with 9 holes to play, and it's certainly looking that.
Now Peter Fowler, who really, apart from one that I can remember, has really not capitalised on some fine play.
Still a wonderful Open for him. The man who started playing the game seriously after he caddied for his brother. And here he is. He's won the 83 Australian Open. As they said at the end of Papillon, I'm still here. And he is. 15th. The rain is starting to become a little annoying and a little consistent now.
Yeah, really paid the price for that pushed second shot with a short club.
So Peter Fowler becomes the 15th player to break 70 or better, and that's an excellent week.
Inside left flip. This for equal leader. Should make it. And gets it. Joins Leaney. So, what a finale we have going here.
Well, can Leaney answer the challenge? This for birdie now. This to go 9 under and regain the upright lead.
I don't know about you viewers at home, but I'm certainly feeling the tension. It's really getting to that exciting stage. Big putt for this young fella.
He's got to make this or his chances are gone. Looked to me like he was aiming way right on that second shot. Not sure why. Perhaps that's something you might need to look at. He's hit a lot of shots right today.
Par for Stephen Leaney, and he remains at 8 under, but he's been joined by Peter Lonard.
6th toughest hole on the course. You see the rain coming down. The only place you do not go here is short. Must put it on the green.
Or left.
6 iron for Peter Lonard as the rain starts to tumble. This one starting out to the right. Is he working it back? Just going to feed right up to the back. No problems there for Peter Lonard here at 17.
Well, he's had a good finish in the last couple of years in the Australian Open. 2 top 20 finishes.
Now Marty Doyle, tough shot here. 3rd shot, par 5, some 60 metres. Nipped it good. Oh, what a shot! Marty Doyle! Hello! Woohoo! Toughest shot in golf. Made it look a snack.
What a great shot. I agree with you.
Stephen Leaney at 8 under. Peter Lonard 8 under. Craig Jones 7 under. Peter Fowler 7 under.
Pretty good stats. 11 of 12 fairways, 14 of 15 greens, and he's had 30 putts, so doesn't hold too much at all. Down breeze today, 16, been one of the toughest all week. Possible birdie hole. And the fly gets him. Pat, you're with him.
Yes, Jack, just the rain starting to make things a little uncomfortable. He's walked away from this first time. .257 over the left-hand traps, over the right-hand traps, but this is headed left.
Oh, what a break.
Well, he's got a good break there, hasn't he? That is a good... Well, perhaps you need this sort of luck to win the Australian Open.
Oh, he's only got some 80 metres left there too. So expect him to put that shot with inside 15 feet.
Well, an incredible approach from Martin Doyle. It would be fitting if he could cap it off.
Oh.
Still a great tournament.
Ah, yeah, this is a fantastic week for the boy from Balgownie as we go back to 16 Downs.
Oh.
Speaking of lucky breaks.
Oh. Boy, there's a cat's whisker in that one. Look at it go. That's about 340 metres to that spot there. So work that in old terminology. 380 yards, 375. And just remember, Marty Doyle pre-qualified this week at Peninsula, shot 67, second best score.
There he is. They're shaking hands with the
reigning Australian Open champion, Stephen Allen. He did hold the original record here of 69, Martin Doyle, but he's moved into headier waters now with this performance over the past 4 days.
Then in trouble from the tee. Third shot.
Craig Jones, 194. Looks as though he's left it right too. The rain's starting to really come down now out here.
Oh dear.
Long.
It's up in the whoopee weeds. That'll take some up and down.
Just 8 players remaining out on the course, and 2 of them share the lead. One of them is this man, Peter Lonard.
Caddy shielding the ball there to keep the water off it. And he can stand there until Peter's ready to hit, and then he must move away. And that shows you the slope on the green. It's going to break to his right. And pretty quick.
I was just starting to think about the bomb he made at Coolum last year on the last green. That one was tracking for a long, long while.
Yes, wasn't that a memorable putt?
Yeah, they don't go away in a hurry. Memories like that. I tell you, he's 8 under. Pops this in. Birdie's the last. Gets it to 9. Puts the heat on Leaney.
Well, he's got the first part of the equation. 3 at 17. And he heads to the last, the par 5.
Well, you can see our camera guys are having some problems with the rain there.
Doing a great job though, Jack.
Done a marvellous job all week. Chance at a birdie here with a good second, Pat.
Yeah, just 100 metres, Jack. Got a great look at this flag. Keep it on the high side, which, oh, hang on a minute, it's slung left. It's got to stay there now. There it goes. It's gone.
Oh, that's a bad error with just 100 metres to go. The world to the right of that pin. This is at the wrong side.
So Leaney now not finding it as easy as he may have thought just a few moments ago. Lonard has joined him, and Pete's got one to play. The dual Masters champion, former PGA champion, had a big year in America with 3 top 10s and a pretty consistent summer here in Australia. Is he going to win the Australian Open? Stay with us and find out. Reigns second to 16.
A wonderful shot from Chris Downs.
So he's not done with yet either. Well, what did you call it? The whoopee grass.
Whoopee weed. I tell you, this is a tough shot. He's got to bump this into the bank and then pray. Oh, he's played it well. Oh, Jack, a gem.
Great shot, but I tell you, if he takes 6 here, he's going to cost himself a lot of money.
In fact, Jack, just dissecting it, I think you could say he's probably got a $32,000 putt coming up.
Now Leaney up against the fringe. This is tough. Up a big tier. Punched at it. Oh, that's a fine effort. Still, that length at this time of the afternoon just goes that little bit longer, and the hole gets a little bit smaller.
Ricky Barnes and his 4th to the par 5 18th. Looking good.
Yeah, good lag putt from Ricky Barnes. On the tee, equal lead of Peter Lonard with his tee shot at 18. Got to stay out of the bunker.
And Jack, that's exactly what he's done. This looks like it's straight down the middle of the 18th fairway. No problems whatsoever for Peter Lonard.
Here's that putt we were talking about, Jack. Craig Jones, this for par.
Well, he deserves to make this the way he's played today.
He's got it.
He has. Well done, Craig Jones.
Good on you, Jonesy.
Round of 71, and he finishes 7 under.
Now, big putt right here. Don't count this kid out of it yet. Needs this putt, though. This for birdie at 16. Gets it. And he's only one back. And with his length... But he's got to negotiate the toughest hole on the golf course, and that'd be 17, where we find Appleby.
4 over for the day. But a gem, a beauty. So he can salvage a little something there. Having a look at our Toyota analyzer and seeing what 17 has yielded. 60% green in regulation today, but closest to it. That 60 compares with 79% yesterday.
Ricky Barnes, par putt, final hole.
Look out, putter.
He's going to be in for another thrashing. But that completes a very good week. 73 in his final round for Ricky Barnes.
Leaney for par. That's to stay in the lead with Lonard going to 17.
Stuart Appleby, after that wonderful tee shot, deserves a 2 and gets it.
What a great year he's had, though, Stuart Appleby. 3 runner-up finishes, a win at Las Vegas, and $2.3 million US dollars.
In fact, we talk about the run that Stevie Allen had, really, for Stuart Appleby. It was late September and October that the old foot went on the accelerator.
And he changed to the new Tour Stage irons and a new Precept U-Tri golf ball.
And must be relatively happy with his change. So it is bank manager as we take a break and be back for a big finish here at Lonard. This par 3, and the Mooner expert is watching this. Pat?
Oh, this is another one that he's just left out to the right. Yeah, I mean, this has been his problem the last few holes, hanging them out to the right. And he's on the green, but it's a long putt and down the hill.
Big putt there for anywhere near a 2. And he knows it's an opportunity missed. Peter Lonard, 2nd to 18. This is a big shot, Jack.
Yeah, he needs to be a little bit right of centre to give himself the best pitch.
3 wood from Peter Lonard, heading straight down the middle. Just dicing with that trap. Needs to go. Needs to go. Has missed the trap, and that's ended up absolutely perfect for Peter Lonard.
Gee whiz.
A minefield of 12 bunkers coming down 18.
Big shot for Stephen Leaney here. Doesn't want to go left, and he's got to make sure he gets it on the dance floor.
Well, he's headed right as well, Jack. And it's not working back enough on the breeze. This is going to stay in the same section as Chris Downs, and this is a slick putt, so I think you take your 2 putts and run to the 18th tee.
I concur.
Gee. So, well, let's watch Steve Conran.
It's his tee shot off 18, Steve Conran. Even par for the round, and I must say, looking at these ladder groups to hit off, Lonard 2 under, Leaney 1 under, Fowler shot 70, Craig Jones 71, Allenby 70, and Martin Doyle 71. So the scoring from the leaders has been not so good.
Only 17 players under par today, Jack.
A different golf course.
And the course at the moment averaging 73.57, which is interesting. On
Day 1 it averaged 74.07. Day 2, 73. The third round, 72.6. So it's taken back a little bit today. There you can see all those players who finished in red figures. Jared Moseley having a nightmare finish with a bogey run. Aaron Badley, a 69 today. A dual winner of the national title. Mark Leachman had a good battle with James Nitties as far as the amateurs were concerned, with victory going to Nitties.
As Pat said, he just wants 2 putts here.
Well, Peter Lonard, I think, is watching that, and the old heart might have gone into the mouth for a moment, Pete.
I tell you, if that didn't hit the hole, that was at least 10 feet by.
Great putt from where he was.
Now Matthew Miller. Good tournament. He's 2 over for the day, 4 under for the tournament. It's his 3rd shot. Trouble off the tee.
Work.
Oh, and a good shot. Right into the heart of the green. Currently tied with course record holder Craig Spence. So good check coming his way.
Yeah, been a fine performance by a couple of these, shall we say, relatively unknown at this level, and he's certainly one of them. Now I wonder if Craig Downs had an opportunity to try and get a feel for the speed, because as Brett said, that putt would have been a good 3 or 4 metres past the cup had it not hit it. Rain falling again now. Picks up speed here. And a good leave underneath the hole. Trails by 1.
Now Lonard. Jason?
From 117, back left pin. This looks pretty good in the air, just heading left of the pin. Oh, that's a super shot. Absolutely brilliant from Peter Lonard.
Big finish here for the dual Masters champion, and he might just edge clear.
Guess whose choice this guy was at the start of the week? Jack.
Yeah, coming down the stretch, he'll do me. Yeah, can he get that putt in? That's the main thing.
Well, he's led the putting stats this week, Peter Lonard. They haven't been sensational, but he's definitely the #1 putter all week. And I guess at that length of putt, if there's a dodgy area of his game, it's 10 feet in, or 3.5 metres, Jack.
Well, he went close in the Masters, chasing home Allenby. He went close in the PGA with the final round 68. So it's been 3 very, very lucrative weeks for Peter Lonard. And what a play he's turned into, Jack.
Oh, look, I just love watching him play, because the shots that he can play are fantastic. Now, Chris Downs must make putt and gets it.
I know Leanie's putt looks pretty close there. Little slippery left to right and across the slope. Here it is. Now, I know it only looks 3 feet, but it's inside, well, left lip with a little bit of curl to it. Well done. Well done. So he'll head to the last hole, Leanie, tied with Lonard, who's got a golden opportunity to get it to 9 under.
Repeating our playoff holes, they'll start on 18 if required, and then move to 15, 16, 17, 18.
Forget the playoffs, Andy. Forget it. One of these guys, I think Lonard will make it. He'll put the heat on Leanie.
And you're suggesting he won't make it?
Well,
on 18.
I know he'll have some sort of putt, a chance at it.
Well, stay with us wherever you may be watching, and it'll all come your way.
Too many scenarios for me, really. It's a great finish, though. Geez, we've had 3 great tournaments, haven't we?
Yeah.
Well, I think the other thing, too, that's come out, Jack, this summer is that we've seen the emergence of players who've, by virtue of their game, have been in the shadows for a number of years. And here we see a Matthew Miller, a Martin Doyle, a Craig Jones. They've all been around for a while, but finally they're getting their chance on the big stage.
Yeah, and what's wrong with Chris Downs?
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I mean, the list could go on.
And
it probably started with James Nitties a few weeks ago.
Well, with the strength of our young players now, both in the girls and the boys, Australian golf's in good shape. It's just the game badly needs another Greg Norman here at the moment to get things cranked up. And I think we've got some players here that are quite capable of winning a major. Big putt from Matthew Miller. He's currently at 4 under. It gets him out of a log jam with 4 others if he can get it in.
Well, he had $25,000 on the Von Nida Tour this year, Matthew Miller. And he won't be far away from making a similar check right here.
Exactly right.
4 under, currently tied 11th.
Craig Spence in that group.
Don't want to stand all over Peter Lonard's line here.
No, he's just having a second look. It's okay.
The tournament from the Canberra boy.
Let's go back to the tee. Pat with Chris Downs.
Well, he's lost a couple right. He hasn't lost this one, right? This one is going to be perfect. 262 to get to the second of the 12 traps down here, but he stayed right away from them.
Much better swing there. Some of those ones he's hit to the right, I think his alignment a little bit out and also up a little early in the shot. Peter Lonard with this absolutely crucial putt for him. Just gets away to the right at the end of its trip. This to get him to the lead.
Yes, got it. Lonard edges in front and moves to 9 under.
Jack, we've got to pick Jack up off the seat. He's
well, a round of 69. And the Lonard army gives him a standing ovation. He throws the ball into the crowd. And now the waiting game begins. Now it's up to Stephen Leaney.
Well, you couldn't do it any better than Lonard. Birdie, par, par, birdie, par, birdie.
Here's the man, Stephen Leaney.
They're up.
Just carried that fairway track.
And what was it Peter Thompson said about the bunkers up 18? There's only a dozen of them, Brad.
I love this quote, Sandals. Usually when you put your head down over a long shot, you have in mind a pattern of bunkers up in front of you. Here, there is no pattern.
Super quote. The only pattern at the moment we have is that Peter Lonard, by virtue of his round of 69, has a one-shot lead with Leaney still out on the course. Back down the fairway, Jack. The man who's got to try and catch Peter Lonard.
Yeah, the first part of this equation is to get it on the short grass, and as I said, preferably up the right. And yeah, good shot. Good shot from Leaney. Longish third shot, though.
And one thing we can say right at this minute is that Peter Lonard is guaranteed the Order of Merit.
Chris Downs, second shot. And no stranger things have happened in the world of golf. No, only equation for him, he must hole his third shot for any chance. Chris Downs, 2 back.
Here's Steve Conran. It's been a good week too for Steve. They'll be pretty happy in orange with his performance.
38 million yen in Japan.
Well, being an accountant, he'd know exactly what that would transfer into, and so do you.
$527,777.77, Sandals.
An even par round of 72 for
the 37-year-old who turned professional in 1990, Steve Conran. That leaves just 2 players on the course, Stephen Leaney and Chris Downs. And here they come. Peter Lonard sitting, waiting, leading by 1. In the clubhouse at 9 under par. Leaney knows the equation, I'm sure. Yes, Peter, you might just go to head towards the practice putting green or the practice fairway. Important to stay warmed up, Brett, in a situation like this.
Well, definitely. He's heading to the practice fairway, the putting green back behind him, so he's just going to go and hit a few wedge shots. Keep loose. Keep his mind on the job. It's not over yet, not until Leaney. Well, it's up to him. Ball's in his court now, Leaney. No ifs, buts or maybes. He must hit this in close, and as Jack said, he's laid himself back a bit. He's got a fair third shot here.
And obscured too by that bunker up ahead and the upslope.
...138 metres back into the breeze with a 7. This looks to be very good. Just a little out to the right. That for a playoff. He came up and asked me whether Pete had made birdie. I said yes, he knew exactly what he had to do.
Hey. Well, that was even a better shot under pressure if he knew what he had to do with a 7-iron in hand. Very makeable putt too, I can tell you. It's just outside right lip for Leaney.
And here is the shot that remains for young Chris Downs, this 23-year-old who, well, he was once a very good cricketer. He played in a junior Queensland side, but then decided that golf was going to be his game. Gained tremendous confidence when he finished 3rd in the New Zealand Open. And while he ponders the shot, Lonard, yep, just on the practice fairway, staying nice and loose.
Yeah, he'll just keep hitting a few short shots. Just keep his mind on the job. It's not over yet, not until that last putt drops. He's won the Masters. He's won the PGA. Will it be his Australian Open?
Yeah, you'd like to see Chris Downs stake this, get himself a birdie and finish at 8 under.
Well, like Leaney, he's given himself an opportunity for a big finish.
Well, the good thing from Leaney's point of view is he's going to get a look at what the ball does around the hole from Chris Downs' putt, so he'll be able to go to school on that. Although it's a slightly different angle, he'll certainly be able to see what the golf ball's going to do around the hole.
Well, we can't speak highly enough, Jack, of this man's week. Chris Downs, just 23 years of age, and he's shown great maturity. He finished 35th on the Order of Merit last year. He's going to climb in towards the top 10 this year.
Yeah, look, I think the thing to remember is the kid's only 23 years of age, and winning these big championships are about putting himself in position on a regular basis. He led the New Zealand Open last year, and now he's led the Australian Open going into the last round, but a lot of pressure on him because he's actually been leading since day one when he shot that brilliant 67, backed it up with a 70 and a 71. So the pressure's been on him all week, and it's been a fantastic performance.
And despite his big finish, Leaney hasn't played enough tournaments to be eligible in the Order of Merit. He's only played 4, and you must play 5. So Peter Lonard will win the Order of Merit.
This is a bit of a rollover year in the excuse me, Order of Merit, Sandy, because we once played a summer of golf where our Order of Merit sort of started in October and went through till March, and it's now gone back to a calendar year, so it's taken 18 months to catch up. So these positions this week conclude that, and we'll be starting afresh from next year in a calendar year for our money list, or Order of Merit as we like to call it here in Australia.
I'd just like to give a cheerio to Andre too, Stolze. Same wrist injury that's plagued the last 5 or 6 years. He's just going to be pipped for the Order of Merit.
Such a shame, isn't it, that wrist has hampered him so much, and we just hope, Andre, that things go well for you and you're back on tour pretty smartly.
Absolutely. You want to talk about money putts? Right here. This is worth some.
Well, we know it breaks a bit more left than most of the players have read into this putt.
Got it. Go to school on that one, Stephen Leaney, and well played, Chris Downs.
Well, that was a $30,000 putt as well right there for the young fellow.
Fantastic effort. That is around an even par round of 72, and he finishes 8 under.
That sort of putt will breed some confidence into Leaney as well, knowing that the player just putted before him has holed it. He's not worried about what Chris Downs has finished on, because he knows he's got him by a shot. And he's had a good look at the line, as Jack was saying. So it's all before him now.
Well, he had him by a shot. He hasn't got him by a shot now. He's got to make this to beat him. And he's got to make it to get in the playoff.
Correct. Lonard waits. Leaney putts.
Left.
No. Leaney misses out, and Peter Lonard is the 2003 Australian Open champion.
A lot more borrow there than almost everyone's read today, apart from Chris Downs.
Leaney taps in, still an excellent performance. He finishes in a tie for second with his playing partner Chris Downs after a round of 71. What a magnificent finish it has been to this Australian Open. And Peter Lonard, Jack, continues to grow in stature. Let's join him now. Jason.
Well, Pete, the third of the major Australian crowns, the Australian Open. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shock, I think. You know, with 9 holes to go, and I was sort of around the mark, but I wasn't really holding any putts, and I thought it was going to be hard jacker. And you know, the course played true to its form. It was really hard work, and I got away with it in the end.
Did you have a figure in mind when you started the day?
I was thinking 10, and you know, when I with about 3 to go, I was thinking, well, maybe 8 will do. But you know, I had perfect yardage into 16, so that gave me a good opportunity for birdie, and you know, hold that putt was nice, and to finally make a par up 17 was even nicer, and then you know, hold that one on the last was a beautiful thing.
What was going through your mind early on? Because you dropped a couple of shots early and things weren't going right. It was just a matter of sticking at it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd done it every day this week. You know, I think Wednesday I was asked what I thought of the course, and I thought, well, you've got to get out really early and make a lot of birdies, and I think the best I ever was after 3 holes was 1 over, so I couldn't do it. But you know, it's one of those courses where I thought, you know, if the wind comes up and you stick in there, there's a lot of hard holes out there, and you know, there'll be more guys going backwards than going forwards in the end.
I actually spoke to you prior to the round, and you're a bit surprised to learn that you were up near the top of the statistics in terms of putting, but just no one was making putts out here this week.
Yeah, well, you know, when you feel like you're missing putts, you feel like you're the only one that misses putts. So, you know, I've been sooking for the last 3 or 4 days, and what you told me this morning made me feel pretty good, actually.
Well, you made the one that counts on 18. Congratulations, the Australian Open champion, Pete.
Thanks, Jason.
Yes, a wonderful achievement. And he really is building a magnificent CV, is Peter Lonard. Now, an Australian one. Very consistent, hasn't he, really, the last 3 or 4 weeks?
Well, that's the thing with him. He's such a good ball striker. that he only ever had to improve his putting, and he was going to be, you know, one of the great players in the world. And he's improved his putting a lot, but it's his shot making that I like watching. He's got every shot in the bag. I mean, he's not the longest hitter out there, but he's not short, and he can play every shot in the book. And this was his third shot to 18, absolutely spot on, as you heard him say in his interview, that he had the right yardage to hit a full shot in there.
And it came down to this putt at 18, this to go 9 under.
I think it's great that he's, you know, the order of merit came down to this tournament, and he's won the tournament and won the money list. I think that's a fantastic achievement.
$270,000 first prize, but that's not important. It's the doors that will open for Peter Lonard. So our leaderboard, we'll have a look at it with Lonard victorious, Downs and Leaney. Downs, one of the success stories of the week. There's a few there. Craig Jones is another one, Jack, isn't he?
Absolutely, a fantastic performance there. Martin Doyle. And of course, let's not forget James Niddy's winning the amateur. Craig Spence, what a round he played today, 65. Phenomenal scoring.
Elevated him from, I think, tie for 43rd to something like a tie for 11th. So it's going to set his year off to a flying start. He's qualified for Europe, and we wish him well. Stay with us. We've got a break coming up, and right after the break, we'll cross for the presentation of the trophy to Peter Lonard.
Slightly damp, but worth plenty nevertheless. And on behalf of our other great sponsors, Tag Heuer, a fantastic watch. Peter as well.
Oh, it's like Christmas.
It is Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, our champion, Peter Lonard. What a finish.
Yeah, it was a, you know, with 3 holes to go, I thought it was pretty much over unless I did something quite special, and was lucky enough to get a birdie on 16, and 17 I was just happy to make a par because I haven't done it all week, and then, you know, to hold one on the last was a very special feeling.
Were you watching the leaderboards? Did you realise just how close it was?
Yeah, you know, I think it's a wonderful golf course. It's one of those courses where you've really got to think, and you know, you really thought, I think probably 10 or 15 of us actually thought that if we were somewhere around the mark, you know, with 9 holes to go, we could still win. And, you know, I think I was 2 or 3 from the lead with 9 to go, and I thought if I just make a couple of birdies, I'll be around there. So I was lucky enough to do it, and unfortunately for the other guys, it didn't quite happen.
Well, as I said in the introductions today, it's been a great season for you. It's been a long season for you, and I know you'd like to thank a few people now.
Oh, just a few. I suppose, first of all, I've got to thank the Australian Golf Union for putting on such a wonderful tournament. Mr. Thompson, I thought the course was fantastic. I thought, you know, all the kerfuffle before we got down here, I was a little bit scared getting here, but, you know, once I got here, it really rewards good golf, and it was a pleasure to play. I think for the first time in the last 4 or 5 years, I actually got on every tee and actually had to think, which nearly killed me. But that was very good. To Hillross Financial for their sponsorship this year. I realise sponsorship's very difficult at the moment, and all the sponsors that have helped out on the Australian Tour, we really appreciate it. To all the marshals, everybody who helped out, thanks very much. Apologise for us sooking every now and then, but you know, sometimes we get upset and we got to aim it to someone. To my caddy, Bussy, he's put in the last 3 weeks. I've upset him the last 2, and finally I think he's probably going to go home happy tonight. So thanks for all your hard work. To my good friends from all the boneheads over there, thanks very much. They've followed me all around Australia this year. I really appreciate the support, and to all the spectators that came out and followed us around this week, thanks very much.
Thanks, Pete. Congratulations. Champion was pushed so hard today, by many, many players, but these two gentlemen in particular, and our joint second place getters, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Leaney and Chris Downs. Guys, please join me. Steve, you just said to me you couldn't play it much better today.
Well, I'm not quite sure how many two-putts I had, but I think it was about 18. So it was just one of those days where I played really nice tee to green, but I just wasn't able to finish it off. But well done to Pete. He's a fine player, and I knew that with him down the stretch it was going to be hard, but he played great, and well done, Pete.
And Chris, this was almost a coming of age for you. Can I say that today?
Sure,
to be in the last group of the Australian Open and just play so well.
Yeah, obviously it was a huge week for me. Leading the first 3 rounds was a great experience, and I'll take a hell of a lot out of this week.
I know you're both a little bit disappointed, but thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, joint second. It's been a thrilling finish, as I said. Stephen Leaney and Chris Downs.